Hey, it's me. Today, we are going back. Back where? You don't know? For real, you don't know? Okay, that's fine. To the Blob universe, of course. I am bringing back one of my most highly requested series, Blob Universe, where we continue our journey to 5,000 blobs. Only 4,972 left to go. Making progress. Normally in Blob Universe, I use one of my many blobs that I've created a mold for and can easily replicate. And then I sculpt on top of it, paint on top of that, and create an original character. But today's video is gonna be a little bit different. I'm actually going to be creating a new kind of blob. The baby blob. I need a little version so that I can do all of my baby characters as baby blobs. I can't do my baby characters in the same size as my adult characters. It just doesn't work. It's a huge problem and issue. I've had this idea for a while. It would be kind of cute to make smaller versions of the blob form. And I've been putting it off and putting it off because it is quite an involved process. If you've been here since the very first episode of Blob Universe, then some of this might look a little familiar to you, although hopefully it goes a little bit smoother than it did the first time I did this because, you know, I struggled the first time. Let's hope this brain can learn. I'm gonna do it and it's gonna be some type of fun. Let's get into making some baby blobs. Okay, hi, ready to do this? First, I'm bringing in the main blob. This is the one I normally use. Knock, knock, knock. Are you real? I don't know. So clearly this is a perfect,
flawless, gorgeous.
Oh, don't look at the bottom. It's chunky. I've achieved perfection once. Stop zooming in on all the flaws. Gosh. The real question is, can I achieve perfection again? But babyfied perfection. Whipping out my air dry clay. This is my go-to, my DOS sweetie. Let's get that cream cheese. That's my clay tagline. Let's make it a thing. No,
Let's not make it a thing.
I'm taking a lump and just checking the size. I'm gonna start this process by creating the base character. So every baby blob will be a replica of this one. I want the baby blobs to be about half the height as a regular blob. Of course, that's not exactly human proportion of baby to adult. If I had to give birth to a baby that was half my size, ooh, ouch, that would not be fun. But blobs are different, okay? They have the miraculous ability to easily birth very large babies. But mostly, I just wanted space to create good details, okay? I didn't want to make them too tiny because then I'm just going to be limited on the kind of designs I want to do, and no, they got to be nice, fat babies. Once I've got the limbs roughly where I want them, ooh, yikes.
She's gonna need some work.
I'm gonna get into some smoothing, getting all close and personal. Ew, back up. And I don't remember sculpting the main blob and it being difficult, but I feel like this was difficult. I was having a hard time with this. I wanted it to look cute and chubby and small, but also big enough to make detailed designs. And after an hour, this is what it looked like. It's, very wide. These babies are thick. This is it, okay? Do you accept this? No. Sorry that my fat baby is not good enough for you. Once the clay dried, I took a little sanding tool and started just trying to smooth out rough areas. This is what every baby blob is going to look like. It needs to be perfect, or at least kind of good-ish. Cleaning all of that up and moving on to the next step, which is varnish. I'm using some nice glossy varnish, applying a thick coat all over this blob, and baby blob actually got, I think, 5 coats of varnish total. I really want to make sure that this baby is not absorbing moisture, or else every baby in the universe will be at risk. So get that varnish on. Next, it's my nemesis. Ugh. Hate you. This non-drying castable plastiline clay. It's an unfortunate part of the mold making process. Did I mention I'm making a mold? I don't know. I'm making a mold, and did I mention that I hate it?
Yeah.
Taking off my ring for this disgustingness, opening up the package, and it's hard as a freaking brick. I'm also greeted by the very familiar smell of ground beef. So gross. Why does it have to smell like this? I'm using a ruler to kind of slice it up. Just look at the amount of pressure required. I'm indented. Look, I'm not an expert at mold making. It's really not my thing, and I know only one way to do it. And this is the only time I ever use this kind of clay. But ooh, I hate it with a passion. I start by placing a couple slices together to create a little platform or a platform bed, if you will. Smooth that over front and back. I used my heat gun to warm it up to help soften it a little bit, just so I could smooth it out. Then I'm bringing in baby blob. Time to go night-night, baby. Why'd I make a king-size bed for a baby? Cutting that down, and my seams just ripped open. Guess they weren't smooth together very well. Yay! thank you. Fixing that up, and I'm really trying to warm this up. You see it? It's sweating, and still it's hard as a rock. I need to dig out some of that clay so that baby Blob can kind of snuggle into there comfortably, and then just build up the clay around the baby so that it's just about at the halfway mark all the way around. And this is quite a process, okay, and not one that I particularly enjoy, but for the love of baby Blobs. Once I've gotten the clay where it needs to be, I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and ooh, I just got goosebumps just looking at it. Yuck.
I hate cotton.
Why does creating my precious baby Blobs require me to face so many things I hate? You know what? Let's just bring squash in here while we're at it, okay? Just a big old mushy clump of squash. Once I got the blob all cleaned up and removed all the little remnants, it's time to build a box. Does that sound fun? I don't know. Well, it's not. I'm using some foam board and fiddling around with a bunch of pieces to create a box as closely cropped around my clay block as possible. Then, using some hot glue, I'm gonna start gluing the walls up and filling every gap and seam with hot glue. And I mean
a lot of hot glue.
Think a lot of hot glue?
Then double it.
Now, I know if I don't put enough hot glue on these seams, I'm gonna end up having a messy leak later. I know someone that happened to. Next, I start shoving clay around the edges in the little gap. Then I have all of these friendly torture devices. Got a pencil, a battery, a peg doll, and 2 screwdrivers. Sounds like a good time. I'm heating up the clay as much as I can before I start worrying about melting the baby, and then just pushing these items into the clay. Basically, this is going to create a puzzle piece situation with the 2 sides of the mold so that they lock in place together. After applying even more hot glue, I'm really traumatized from last time, I'm going to set that to the side and pull out my silicone mixture. Guys, I've given in. I'm sorry.
He's just so punchable.
I have brought an Evan plush into this world. As if the squishy was not enough. Does this mean that I have had a complete change in heart and I suddenly just love Evan? No, it does not mean that at all. Stop looking at me. This is for you.
Do you like him?
So many of you are so obsessed with Evan for some freaking reason. The whole Justice for Evan movement. I don't get it. I don't know what it is about him. I don't like him. This is not just a plush launch. This is a battle between the pro-Evan hashtag Justice for Evan people and the people like me who are very anti-Evan. This is the anti-Evan t-shirt, anti-Evan club, and it very clearly communicates how we feel about Evan and how he shall be treated. That's right, derp. You run. And if you're pro-Evan, this t-shirt makes me want to vomit. Evan's looking all
Evan-y.
Says Justice for Evan right on the t-shirt. We will find out who's gonna win. Are there more people in Justice for Evan, or are there more people in the anti-Evan club? Somebody's gonna win, and I hope it's not you. We are offering bundles as well, so if you want the t-shirt and the plush, even if you are anti-Evan, I do recommend the plush because he's really great for like getting out any underlying aggression you may have. All of this is available on MariahElizabethMerch.com. You can use the QR code on the screen or go to the link in the description. And this is on pre-order, so this is only going to be available for a short amount of time. I'm very curious to see who's going to win. This requires a part A and part B. Snapping on my rubber gloves, I have my A cup here, filling that up with the solution, glug glug glug, giving that a stir, taking my B cup, glug glug glug, stir, then mixing the 2 together and big stir for like 3 minutes, really work out those biceps. And then finally the big moment, the climax of mold making, you pour the goo in the box. The directions say to wait 45 minutes. Every time I've done this, it's been way longer than 45 minutes. Closer to like 3 hours, but yeah, sure, 45 minutes to 3 hours later, we have a silicone block. So now I get to rip open the box, and this is truly another disgusting part of this process. The silicone does not cure where it's touching the clay, so it just creates a nasty sort of sludge that I have to dig through and get rid of, and it's just everywhere. I pull off the block of clay and clean everything up, and yay!
Wanna do it again?
No! Great. Let's make a box around the silicone, glue the heck out of it. Reminder, massive amounts of glue. Are you taking notes? Then, taking this mold release spray, we are going to spray down the silicone outside because ventilation. Come back and I'm ready to pour the other half of the mold on top. And last time I did make the mistake of waiting too long to separate the 2 sides of the molds and they had cured together. So this time I knew I had to keep checking back on it and come back as soon as the silicone was cured. It was a few hours later and it happened to be after the end of my workday. So please enjoy this part of the process as narrated by myself and my 3-year-old.
What's this?
Oh, this is hot glue.
Do you want to paint this black?
No, I'm not gonna paint it. It's a mold.
So what do you do?
Well, it's gonna help me make little blobs. I'm just gonna take this out.
It's heavy.
It is heavy.
Can I see the blob?
I'm trying to get the blob out.
Are you okay?
I'm okay, yeah, I'm just focusing.
I'm making your focus face. I can see the blob.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, the blob.
You think this is cute?
Yeah, I want this.
Okay. There it is. My child has experienced the miracle of life. I think she was there when I did the last one too. I'm just gonna trim up the extra silicone on the mold, stick the two sides together, cut a little hole in the bottom. Now, if you're wondering about Baby Blob OG, nope. Come on, I know you were. She is doing okay. Her skin is just a little bit peeling off. Okay, it's all coming off. At least she did not perish like Mama Blob OG. I'll keep her in a special place, I guess. Now, I'm gonna prepare my mold by placing the two sides together and slapping some rubber bands around it to hold it together. Make sure you do enough, because I know about these leaks too. And crazy coincidence, okay, literally while I was creating this mold, a package came in from a viewer and it had this inside. Someone actually went through the trouble of creating a Baby Blob mold for me. I cannot believe that somebody would go through that torture for me. Now, at this point, I have already made my Baby Blob mold, but I have to at least try this mold out. So I'm preparing this one as well. And then this is the shuff. It's casting material. It's like plaster, but a whole lot stronger. Now, to make the cast, all you have to do is mix the powder with water, stir it up until the lumps disappear, and bada boom, the mixture goes right into the mold. Just fill it to the top. Now, for the viewer's mold, the hole was a little? So I grabbed a funnel to help me pour the cast in. I couldn't really see the bottom of the blob, so I didn't know when the mold was full. It did start overflowing a little bit, got a little messy, but it's okay. Just about an hour later, the blobs are cured and ready to be birthed. Yay! So here we go. The first baby is born. Stop. These are looking pretty cute, I'd say. Hi, twins! Now, I need to see how my viewer's mold came out, so open it up and it has a tail. Uh-oh. Okay, the seams on this one are a little intense. I'm gonna try to fix it. It's cute though. In the meantime, let me just go ahead and whip up 1, 2, 3, 4 more baby blobs. Now, these babies, while they are beautiful, they do have some rough seams that need to be sanded down. Fortunately, it just takes a quick second. Boop, all smooth. The bottoms also have some crazy stuff going on, so that needs to be taken down a notch. Like a cheese grater, I'm just gonna keep going until it's at least sitting flat on the bottom, and I can fix the rest of that with clay. This is one dusty baby, but she's good to go. Next, I'm gonna try to tackle this special little friend. Got a few special little issues. I worked and worked and worked on this little buddy, trying to sand away those seams and the bottom down, the tail, and this was a labor of love. You can see the growing pile of dust. I was swimming in it. But now I finally have all my beautiful baby blobs ready, plus
a special guest.
I like that they're all the same height, but this one definitely makes my blobs look super wide. Maybe I should have gone a little skinnier. Finally, I can get into the more creative part of this process. So I have my base baby blob complete and replicated. So now I can just start turning these into unique baby blob characters and just dumping a bunch of water onto my mat. Thank you, that wasn't anything but a mistake. I, of course, have to smooth out the bottoms, which I'm very used to doing this with the big blobs as well. You're just like your mother. Once I have the bottom smoothed, I can add any elements that I want, and I started the blob universe with my main man Pickle, so it's only fair to start the baby blob universe with Pickle's spawn, Baby Gherkin. I'm not even gonna try to build suspense here. If you thought for one single second that I wasn't going to immediately make Pinkle and Gherkin, well, you're wrong, and you're crazy. Here he is. It's Gherkin! I'm going in for Pinkle, once again smoothing out the bottom, and like any good member of the Derpy Dino family, she comes complete with adorable round spines and a cute little dino tail, and she takes after the pickled pink blob with a little upturned tail. Ooh, you're just like your mother. Next, moving on to this little girl. Oh, now you know, spoilers, she's a girl. I'm just gonna roll out and trim out some little strips of clay to create a little bow, which I have done before. Then once I've got the bow on the head, it's just a matter of attaching it on and securing it without completely smushing it, which is always a fun struggle. Finally, I'm happy with it. Cute little baby blob with a bow. below, but you'll never guess what kind of character this is gonna be.
I'm serious.
You will never guess. If anyone guesses correctly, I will cut Pickle's head off for real. Maybe I shouldn't gamble with Pickle's life. Sorry, buddy, that's kind of messed up. The next baby is going to be another new character that you will probably also not guess, but maybe, I don't know. I just added a single lump to the top of the head. Does not look that cute right now, but just hang on. It'll make more sense when I get to the painting. But here's what that one's gonna look like. And the last one is going to be our special little friend here. He had kind of a missing foot situation, so I had to kind of sculpt a new foot on for him. That should be no trouble though. See, there we go, buddy.
I told you it was gonna be okay.
Then I'm sculpting some simple little bear ears on him. I have a really cute idea for this, which I'll explain in next week's video, because this is as far as I'm gonna get for this week. Ooh, cliffhanger. So getting to this point with my new baby blobs actually took me about 3 weeks. So this was as much as I could cram into one video, and we haven't even touched the painting yet. Well, okay, so I kind of did forget to shoot this ending clip, and I may have touched the painting a little bit, but it's fine. You didn't notice that. I have a lot of painting to do, so come back next week to see how all of these baby blobs come out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!